The last one, we are supposed to finish at 4. අපි ඉක්මන් කරලා ඉවර කරමු. Next one is Port City. So others who are not necessary can proceed. Thank you very much. Port City gentlemen can come to the front if you don't mind. Where is a letter from the chairman? Port City chairman?
Mr. Chairman, this is regarding regulation for condominium property which will be constructed in the Port City. So we
Before housekeeping matter, we have said previously that either the chairman or a member of the commission has to be present. And in fact, the chairman of the Port City Commission personally called me yesterday and he said you were hand carrying a letter from him as to why he is not here. Can we have that letter?
The letter. Sorry, excuse me. My name is Revan Vikramasuriya, recently appointed as the Director General of the Colombo Port City Economic Commission. Recently means, I think, about 2 weeks ago. The letter, I believe, was sent by email.
Who received it? I mean, look, you know, we can have officials come and request various things, but we need a commission member. But this is the letter the chairman has WhatsApp to me. Where is it? Do you know who they sent it to?
No, that was sent by the Secretariat. I'm not quite sure, but I can check.
Well, I'll read it.
Yeah.
I refer to the discussion I had with you last evening. As intimated, I deeply regret the inability to be present at the committee today, etc. And he says that. So we are okay with it, but you need to submit that letter, please. Huh? And the chairman undertook that because it's the first commission meeting is still to be
On the 15th.
On the
it's been,
15th,
scheduled for the 15th.
and then thereafter commission members will be present here. Because honorable members, I must update you that there have been some legal matters that we didn't agree with the Colombo Port City Commission as to their powers. For instance, the duty-free area, whether the Port City Commission had the power to remove duty on goods being sold in that facility. They said they had, we said they didn't have. Ultimately, they had to rescind that gazette because the Attorney General overruled Port City Commission's legal opinion that they had. So that is why we want a commission member to be present here. But since we have accepted Mr. Harshamrasekara's reasoning, and he had said that hereafter somebody will be present, we'll allow you to go ahead. First of all, congratulations. We've been asking for a Director General to be appointed to the Port City Commission. We are glad, Mr. Vikramasuriya, you have been appointed. Please go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, this is regarding a regulation published for regulating condominium property which will be constructed inside Port City. In Colombo Port City, we have 51% of GFA residentials which comes under condominium property. So we have provision in our Act section 71 to publish regulation for regulating condominium property and with the concurrence of Condominium Management Authority. So we got the concurrence of Condominium Management Authority, and based on that section 54 and 55 given how we have to prepare our regulation. Based on those sections, we prepared our regulation and published in 26 July 2024, and in time, within the particular time, we submitted it to the Parliament, and these are, if you need more clarification, I can answer, Chairman.
I mean, to me, this is just a regular matter unless people have questions. So these condominiums are going to be owned by foreigners, locals. how does it work? I mean, I don't have any technical questions on engineering.
Yeah, Chairman, that can be owned by foreigners because that all based on the current existing Land Alienation Act. So this comes under that act because beyond that there is no particular regulation. This is only regulating condominium property. This is not about selling or
This is regulations.
yeah, regulation.
Like how many floors?
How many floors? What is the common area? What is the
Now
common area?
tell me, DG, how is the investor interest in the Colombo Port City? Have you seen some uptake?
No, I
or?
think last year was a very challenging year, notwithstanding most of the regulations coming out. The investor community, there were, I think, possibly over a couple of hundred potential investors that visited, looked at the investments, etc. But due to the changing political environment, everybody sort of put things on ice. With the new government having been formed, cabinet being done, and the commission being appointed, there is going to be active re-engagement with these investors to understand how things, or give them an update of what government policy is taking this forward. So last year it was sort of everything was sort of wait and see what happened with the elections.
So who is the new commission, DG?
The chairman is Mr. Harsha Amarasekara. Then we've got Parakrama Disanayaka, currently on the board of Atkins Pence. Harsha Subasingha, Cogen gentleman. Amal Cabral, I think he was one of the chairmans at Unilever, and then Sampath Bank, HNB board, I believe. Then we have Sanjay Kulatunga, who runs and manages. He's been on the BUI as well, and he's also on Equity Capital, the asset management company. And then that's 5, right?
So all locals.
All Sri Lankan, six.
Because if you recall, because this is an international investment, Honorable Minister, there was a big debate at the time the original law was introduced, whether you should have foreign nationals also on this commission. And the finality was that the chairman would be a Sri Lankan national, and there could even be foreign nationals. Is that correct, DG?
That's correct. The provisions in the Act actually states that majority, the maximum of 7 commission members, but the provision in the Act, I think section 6 or 7, speaks to the fact that majority of commission members have to be Sri Lankan, therefore leaving room for foreign citizens or foreign nationals to be commission members.
Yeah, this committee has been engaging with the Colombo Port City Commission for some time now. And, there hasn't been the kind of investment that was originally expected. Am I correct in saying that, DG?
That's correct.
So why is that? I think you need to really look at this because of sort of geopolitical reasons, and the perceptions as to who actually owns this property. Sometimes some countries sort of shy away from making these investments. So our position has always been that this is a Sri Lankan owned thing, right? And it has to be marketed in such a way, because otherwise, unless my view, DG, correct me if I'm wrong, my view is unless you start bringing in Indian investments into the port city, things will be slow to take off. There was some Saudi Arabian interest. I don't know what happened to that. Because other than some Chinese investments and local, I think, LOLC or somebody, no real investments have taken place.
I think
now.
if you permit me to give a quick update,
Please do.
You're absolutely correct, Chairman. Out of the 74, so the whole area, the 269 hectares of land is marked out into 118 plots of land. 74 plots of land are marketable, right? To this date, only 6 plots of land have been purchased. Right, this is from the positioning of the Colombo Port City Economic Commission Act in 2021. So this is nearly 4 years. Those 6 plots of land have been purchased by a Sri Lankan company, which is Brown's subsidiaries of Brown's Investments Holdings. There is a potential transaction for another residential plot. That too is interest has been shown by Sri Lankan companies. So it is right to say that the government needs to seriously look at how this is actually promoted to sort of at least the regional players, the SAARC countries, whether it's India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nepal, etc., and to try and sort of attract this capital to get this project kick-started. But rightly, sort of, we need to be aware of the fact that the act being passed in 2021 May, when we went into 2022, 2023, we all know what a difficult position this country was in. So you can't expect foreign direct investors to bring in capital, lease land, start developments in that situation. We have a stable government now. I think the policies, procedures, as soon as they can get implemented, I think we are on a good wicket. But we need to actually get the ball rolling and do the right thing from here onwards. A lot of great work has been done thus far.
I think with the new commission, you all will come up with your input as well. Together, you all will come up with strategies. That's why it is entrusted and handed over to the commission to decide and advise accordingly to work with the other agencies who are engaged in that matter. A lot of reasons as to why things didn't get done in the past, but I'm sure the new team will let us know as to how to go forward.
You know, there is another important matter here in terms of fiscal policy, because there can be cannibalizing. You see, because if you are on that side of the Gaul Road, you don't pay tax. Right? You don't pay payee tax, you don't pay VAT, you don't pay income tax, you don't pay any tax. Right? And the issue that we had with the Port City Commission was also when they were trying to sell white goods, TVs, fridges, etc. And then we took the position, look, like if they sell it duty free, you know, what's going to happen to all the people who are trying to sell white goods on the other side of Gaul Road, etc. So that we resolved. This committee really intervened and they had to rescind that gazette, the long list of items they were going to sell. But the point is, there is a limited window for this tax-free business. Because IMF is not going to allow, am I correct? IMF conditions has given a limited window for the tax-free.
I think the regulation, sorry.
Yeah, it's not necessarily, Chairman, it is about restricting, but the transparency to the party to whom we give on the basis and what are the benefits, etc. So in the past, it has been extended right throughout many decades, these tax-free benefits without any justification, looks like based on connections and etc. So it is about transparency and disclosure, give the details of the parties to whom we have given tax benefits. Some of them are already online available for people, for public to see, etc.
There is transparency in this, because we made sure that the transparency was that is under the SDP Act, there is no transparency. But what I'm saying is these tax benefits are limited in duration, isn't it?
So the regulation that you're referring to, Chairman, is the Business of Strategic Importance regulation of 2023 August. It was passed and gazetted and approved by Parliament in August 2023. That had a sunset clause, and that is due to expire in August, 4th of August 2025.
Oh, that's
right?
what I meant, yeah.
So that's when this tax framework that was given approved under the Colombo Port City Economic Commission Act Section 53 is going to expire, and these are discussions that the Commission is having with the Ministry of Finance to relook at this and understand what government policy is and how you drive the incentive framework.
Yeah,
going
but then
forward.
there has to be tax equity, you see. I mean, just because you set up at the port city, you don't pay any tax. Then the people who are paying tax, Honorable Minister, will end up paying more
disadvantage,
tax.
sort of playing.
That
So
is
I
why I
think
talk about cannibalism there.
one of the biggest concerns that's in the market is that if anybody who's operating in the mainland and they go and establish their head office in the port city, they'll be tax free.
Yeah.
So that's
That's correct.
Can you mention that?
Is that true or
very
false
clear
statement?
Demarcation.
No,
that's
that
very
is
clear.
correct.
Because if you look at services provided within, it's not. We provided outside the country, yes.
No, now
That's
software,
a very clear demarcation.
but software is now going to be taxed. The new budget is going to tax software at 15%. But if you, that is for exporting a software.
Yeah, so
Right?
say that you have a trading company inside this thing, and they
Outside?
do trading outside.
No, trading in Sri Lanka is taxed.
No,
You
your
can't.
income tax.
Yeah, it is taxed.
No, you can't trade inside Sri Lanka, inside Port
No,
City.
you can. You paying
can't.
taxes, you can. What is traded outside Sri Lanka is tax.
So
No,
the
you
ports-
can't trade inside Sri Lanka in
So-
Port City.
Okay, if I can clarify, I'm not talking about sort of looking at it from the perspective of trading inside or outside. If you're licensed to do business from the port city and therefore called an authorized person, and if you are designated as a business of strategic importance, you would be entitled to certain tax incentives, right? But I think provision 34, whatever in this act, states if that business of strategic importance does business with a Sri Lankan, right, that income or that component of the business does not receive any incentives.
Yeah.
And it's similar to, correct me if I'm wrong, but similar to a BOI company who will do maybe 10% of their business with a Sri Lankan entity that doesn't receive any incentives, but if they're doing business with overseas entities, so that's sort of the similar framework that's applicable here.
No, that was captured well to be like Singapore. Any earnings outside the shores are tax-free. So
But-
it was a real run-through, which is good.
No, but then what happens, like, let's take a software exporter, right? You're located in Kolpiti. You're going to have to pay 15% income tax on your software exports from next year. But let's say you're on the other side of your port city, you don't pay any tax.
At the same time, Chairman, to get into the other side, there are some requirements that you have to meet as well. Anyone can just walk in and get
Yeah.
it. There are employment requirements, there are investment requirements.
So that-
So if the person who's in Kolpiti wishes to be entitled for that, I'm sure they can follow the process and seek that one.
Honorable Minister, this is where we had a long and a sort of a very tough discussion here, specifically on this matter. Now, for instance, we asked questions as to why a travel company should be given port city status with employment of like 10 people or something like that. And they said, look, they are buying and selling tickets for foreigners to go to other foreign countries. So, correct? Is that
Their
right?
customers are not not people in Sri Lanka.
You are bringing in business, that's okay, as long as you don't dwell in local business.
No, there's going to be unfair competition. So whoever gets a chance to go into Port City will have an unfair advantage to a person who's operating in the mainland doing tourism business.
No, but then, Honorable Minister,
Because
that
you
one
can't
is not
accommodate
to come to
everyone.
Sri Lanka. They said you can't sell tickets to come to Sri Lanka. We will go to the verbatim and see. This is only tickets for people from Australia to go to America.
But this is another matter of discussion. Just
Yeah, but this, I don't want to take time now, but this is a complex thing because we want this to succeed. Like we have 268 hectares of land there. Right? Obviously, it has to succeed.
Yeah.
And there is, I mean, we are all trying to help, right? And that is why we have been giving a lot of advice and we've been actually, at loggerheads also at times. But this
Without
needs
being
to serious look at.
disadvantage to local businesses.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all for the moment. Then our officials can go. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.